And normally I chat about multicopter gear, but today we're going to talk about some normal cinema photography gear. Very unique stuff actually. I'm going to talk about a company called Motion 6, and they take vintage lenses and they rebuild them to a very bespoke spec. There's a few companies around the world that do this. Motion 6 are one of the quieter ones. They're quite shy about social media, so they don't use Twitter and they don't use Facebook. I think they just like to get on building lenses rather than talking about it. They're very passionate about it. They've been doing it for years. I think if you look on the internet, they've had previous names and been around for a long, long time. Having said that, there isn't much information on the lenses themselves, views from users about the build quality, about the lenses themselves and the configuration and customer service. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to address that today. So we'll start off with the Cinema 58. This is one of the first lenses I got from them. And I wanted to use it with an anamorphic lens, and I had a few requirements. So with anamorphic, you want to have a two-time stretch style bokeh. So with that, you need a narrow cat's eye style iris at the back, as we see. So they did that for me, and I was going to be using it with SLR Magic adapters. They have a blue lens flare. It's very strong blue. So I wanted the yellow to counter that. So that's what drove the specific requirement for that lens. I'd like to show you some of the evolution of the company and the customer service, taking a step on from this lens. Because that's, I think it's around a 58mm lens. So I wanted to have a wider angle option. So this is the Cinema 29. And what I went and asked for first was to have the same style iris, two-time stretch like that. But in this case, because that was using an anamorphic adapter, that was being stretched out in post, so it didn't look quite so narrow. With this one, I was tricking that effect. I wanted the same look with the bokeh, but I couldn't get an anamorphic adapter for this. But with having it so narrow, the bokeh just looked thinner, and I wasn't happy about it. So I said, could you put me in an iris that's a little bit wider, so that it would match more with the stretched footage from the other lens? And they did that for me. Within a year, they'll do an alteration free. I think they might even do a couple. I mean, I don't take advantage of that normally, because I appreciate the time and effort that's gone into the lens already, so I don't really want to mess them about with further changes, but I wasn't happy. And that was my fault. That was on me for the decision I'd made. But they made that change and they didn't charge me for it, so that's customer service. And whilst it was there, they evolved the requirements in that when they're doing iris, you don't just have to have a fixed one. You can now have a variable iris on there as well, so you can step it down. So they put the second iris in there whilst they were doing that. That does change where the infinity is. So they marked that with a red on the barrel there for you. But I thought that was a good example of the customer service in action as well. A nice thing you'll notice on all the lenses is they've got this hyper FUD system. That's basically having the barrel that, rather than normally trying to keep out light, this is to try and collect light and bounce it in, and that helps you get the light leaks and all the lens flare, and I think it's a nice touch. But they do have as well, if you need it, options for having a proper lens hood where you can put that on and stop light getting in. I'll take you on to some of the other bespoke requirements that I've asked them over time. I wanted another Cinema 58, and I'd seen some photography that was using a square iris. I thought that'd be great, but I didn't want to just be fixed to one side. You know, you can buy on eBay Helios lenses with a fixed iris in there, but I wanted to have it variable. So they put that in. And not only that, I wanted the square to line up with horizon, so it would look like a square if you were, if you had it step down like this. So they did that for me as well. So there we go. Lots of very specific looks there. To show you the evolution that they're working on at the moment, this is a lens they're coming to market with, and I've just been lucky enough that they've let me buy this lens before it's come out. And this is a modular lens. So at the moment, I don't know what the exact pricing for this is going to be. I get the impression that you'll buy the lens and then there'll be a small subscription for the insert, so that you could change the inserts for specific jobs instead of having to buy lots of different lenses. Because inserts, the bulk of the cost in the CNC machining and the glass and so on. So it would have been much of a saving if they sold the inserts. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to take apart. I'm going to do this real time so that you get a genuine impression of how long it takes. Now, considering we're taking an entire lens apart, it's not going to be too tedious waiting to see this. This would normally be a task that took tools, you know, trial and error, and you're probably damaging a lens. So yeah, we've taken the glass out. The glass actually separate from the hood there, as you can see. So to put it back together, we can just put the hood back in. And you can actually change the follow focus as well, if you wanted to. Now I'm going to put the lens back in and fasten it all back up again. So see, there you go. Really straightforward task. So I think that's a really nice touch. So that gives you an idea of the build quality, the innovation, and the customer service. And if you're feeling patriotic, some of the lenses you even get a nice England flag. I'll say England, that's United Kingdom. So there we go. Nice products, very happy with them, and I hope you found that useful, and please subscribe if you want to see more videos.